Remember that you will die. A short phrase, perhaps a little uncomfortable, but in reality, it's a kind whisper, an invitation to live fully. Sometimes we forget that our time here is finite. We get lost in the routine, in the noise of everyday life, and in that forgetfulness, we stop savoring life. Memento Mori is not a call to sadness but to awareness. It is an opportunity to value each sunrise, each smile, each hug. It is a reminder that life is a gift that should be enjoyed in every moment. Remembering our mortality is not living in fear. On the contrary, it is living with intensity. It is embracing the beauty of the ephemeral. It is living with our eyes wide open, with our hearts willing to feel everything. Because in the end, what really matters is not how long we live, but how we live that time. John was an ordinary man. He worked hard, he had a family he loved, but at some point his life became monotonous. He would get up, go to work, come home. The days followed one another, almost identical. One day, John received unexpected news that shook him to his core. A close friend, someone full of life, had passed away suddenly. The news hit John with the force of a giant wave. Suddenly, the fragility of life became evident. John realized that he had been living on autopilot. He had forgotten what was important, what was essential. The death of his friend, although painful, was a wake-up call for John. It reminded him that time doesn't stop for anyone, that every day is a priceless gift, a gift that should not be wasted. John began to pay attention to the little things, to the birds singing in the morning, to the laughter of his children. He enjoyed meals with his family, conversations with friends. He no longer took time with his loved ones for granted. Every moment together was an opportunity to connect, to love, to create memories. John discovered beauty in simplicity. A walk in the park, a book, a cup of hot coffee. Simple things that went unnoticed before now filled him with joy. He had found happiness in the everyday, in the beauty of a sunny day, in the smell of the wet earth after the rain. John understood that happiness is not in the extraordinary, but in our ability to appreciate the ordinary. John no longer feared death. He had made peace with his own mortality, and that peace freed him. It freed his spirit and allowed him to live authentically. He put aside the masks, the pretensions. He began to be himself, without fear of judgment from others. And in doing so, he discovered true freedom. John was finally living. He lived with purpose, with gratitude, with an intensity he had never experienced before. We are all John. We all have a finite life, a limited time in this world. Let's not waste this gift. Let's live with passion, with joy, with the certainty that each day is a new opportunity. Let's love without reservation, laugh out loud, chase our dreams. Don't let fear paralyze us. Life is too short to live it with regrets. Let us remember that death is not the end, but a transformation, a step into the unknown. And until that time comes, let's live with the certainty that our existence has meaning. At the end of our days, what will really matter will not be our material achievements, but the love we have given and received, the compassion we have sown in the world. Let's open our hearts to others. Let's help those in need. Let's be light in the midst of darkness, because in the end, we are all part of the same fabric, and the happiness we give to others becomes our own. Let's put aside selfishness, envy, resentment. These emotions only lock us in a prison of pain. Let's build bridges instead of walls. Let's connect with others from authenticity, empathy, and love. Life is an extraordinary journey, but it's even better when we share it with others, when we open our hearts to love, to friendship, to human connection. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verses 1 and 2, we read, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted." These words remind us of the natural cycle of life, a cycle that begins and ends, that ebbs and flows. Accepting this cycle allows us to live with greater serenity and wisdom. Let's live with purpose, with love, with courage. Let's seize each moment as if it were the last. And when the time comes to leave, we will do so with the peace of having lived fully.